options start to dry up, then you've seen the change in behavior. Scribe, let's talk about it.
A lot of women are scrambling for options because what happened was over the past 5 years they had their pick of the litter, but the problem was that they rejected every single guy that was into them, or eventually they just didn't want a relationship with those guys anymore because they got bored or they thought the grass was greener elsewhere. Well, here's why that's really bad right now. Well, you fast forward 5 years and a lot of them slowly figure out that they don't look the same at 30 as they did at 25. Okay, those wrinkles start to set in, things change. Well, over that 5-year span, what most of these guys did to overcome that heartbreak was a lot of them self-improved. And now these guys are coming into their prime. So that means they're making more money than ever. They're more ripped than they were before. They have more swag than they had before. They have more.
I think it's absolutely right. What you would be required to see would be accountability, with women being honest with what's actually happening in their lives. But you have this insular sort of nature where it's not in vogue to go online and tell the truth that, hey, I'm sort of struggling in this thing. Outside of, heinous crashing out videos, screaming at the camera, in mass, a lot of content that you see, I believe, and I think a lot of people would agree, that it's cope. You see this often when your options are taken away from you, not because of something you believe you deserved, but whatever factor, be it time, be it, your size, be it your whatever. Once these options are removed, now the conversation becomes, I never wanted that anyway. Right? And this is genderless, right? This is genderless. Both sides of them saying, no, I never cared for that anyway. I never wanted to have a baby anyway. When it becomes too late for that to happen, then it was never a thing you really cared about. Rather than being honest and facing the truth and saying, no, I really wanted that. I just didn't realize I didn't have the time. I didn't prioritize the thing that I said I wanted so much, because all that glittered and gold in front of my face, I thought was more alluring. I thought was more important. So I dedicated my time, energy, and attention that way. So when those men were around me, when they orbited me, when I had my pick of the litter, I decided to keep picking. This is a natural thing. This is a thing that we don't really need confirmation of as men. We see it. We see what's happening. What he said is starkly true. When we get that heartbreak, for what a lot of men end up doing is knowing, I got to go back into the lab. I got to grind. I got to work on something. I got to be better. Maybe it initially started out of spite. Maybe it initially started because I wanted to prove myself. So next time I'm around her, or the next time I get with a woman, she thinks twice about leaving me like I was just left. The first place we go to is the gym. It's the most honest place you can go to, where if you're consistent with what you do in there, what you do in the diet, you will see the results of that. And in a time when it's turbulent, when you are unsure, you're on steady ground, you want something that's guaranteed. That's what the gym is. I'm gonna go there and I can't lift this. If I keep trying over time, I'm gonna be able to do that. I can track that progress. That means I am improving. That's something you desperately want at that time. So that's why it's a common place for us to sort of seek solace in. That starts the clock. That starts the momentum. That starts the big rock going down the even bigger hill. So in 5 years' time, when you went from 25 to 30, 30 to 35, you've lived 2-3 different lives. Your persona has evolved. New ways of thinking have opened up through discipline. And you realize, okay, the world is bigger than my pain. And what a lot of men do, they do this in silence. They do this alone. They do that grind by themselves. Sure, you can have a group of guys around you that keep you on track, that you help keep them on track. But we're not out there, it's not loud. When you see a lot of women, when they get online, it's loud. I'm showing you the places I'm going. I'm taking the photos. I'm going places specifically for a photo op. I want the world to see how well I'm doing, how well adjusted I am, how much fun I'm having. The manager saying, okay, it's Groundhog's Day. Let's lay out a good day and then repeat it. You had a good day? Good, do it again. Do it again tomorrow. Do it again tomorrow. By the time you look up, 10 years have passed. You're not the same person anymore. On the other side, we don't have a culture that teaches women and says to women, you got to get to the lab. Something goes wrong, they say it's a man's fault. You were perfect the way you were. It's not your fault this happened to you, it's his fault. He needs to fix himself. He needs to be reprimanded. Him and every man like him needs change. that's not really what's happening in the real world. It's still moving by. Time is still doing its thing. Another thing he said that I really like, and I've advocated for that several times on this channel. Men, we need to take plays out of women's book. You need to watch, the game footage and say, see right here how she prioritizes happiness above all else. You should do that. You should take that chance. You could look at that and say, oh, you see how she kind of set you aside because what she wanted to do was more important? You think, and I understand why, we're socialized, into believing that it's your job to be receptacle for her feelings. Your job is to manage her feelings. Your job is to manage your own. Your purpose on this planet cannot be a woman. You cannot love a woman before you love peace. You do these things, you get things out of order, and you find out that you shrink yourself. You cut off pieces of yourself to maintain whatever image she sees that you should be. This is a way for you to slowly die over time. You are not responsible for anyone else's feelings before they are. You're not, especially someone that you did not give birth to. Your job on this planet is to leave your mark on here. People should know you came this way. Find something that you're passionate about, something that drives you, and put your all into that. Then you start looking after others. Then women should not be first or second on your list. We got where we are because we became afraid to correct bad behavior that we see in our lives. We set a boundary and then it's continually walked over because we said, I don't want to upset her. Every story, every movie, everything sitcom you saw on TV growing up was about a man that was either funny, goofy, clown. That was the father figure. 1 or 2 episodes a season, he might get serious and be an actual father. But the rest of those times, he was just comic relief. He was the butt of certain jokes. Every time it would be, she's important. She's the boss. I got to run it by the boss. I got to see what she says. She would be the ultimate arbiter. She'd be the judge of what is right or wrong in the house. And sometimes they even show the man is a breadwinner. Yet when he comes home, he knows he has to bend the knee. And we looked at this and we ran with it, especially for those that didn't have fathers in the house. We thought this is what it meant to actually be with someone. We were told this is what the goal was, this is what we're supposed to be doing. And you find yourself in a place like, I don't recognize myself. I don't understand what's happening here. Today, we see something different. Men are looking and saying, I've done all the work. I've put in the hours. I've been to the gym. I've worked on myself. And then women are also coming to that realization because we peak at different times. They might not notice the peak, right? When they actually hit the top, when they're on that slow descent. With makeup, with the gym, with a lot of cosmetic work, it seems like it feels like you're extending that slope. It's not as steep. It's happening, but you feel like, no, I can still get attention. I can still get pulled. I can still get guys. But you never count it in the guys that are willing to have relations with you long-term. They're willing to put a ring on your finger. That wouldn't put you on the deed, willing to put you on the life insurance. You just count it by the amount of likes and attention you get. How you get validated on Friday night, Saturday night, by what you're wearing when you're out to brunch, how many people are looking your way, licking their lips as they licking the syrup off their plate. You think that's what it is. Eventually, that slow decline that you're doing everything to prevent, it stops. You fall right off. The slope becomes entirely negative and it becomes impossible for you to do anything about that. The attention, male attention in mass has always stayed where it was. The optionality is gone. So then you're scrambling for purchase. Now you're looking back and saying, those guys that I used to know, that I didn't think that was suitable for me back then, now, hey, let me see if I still have his number. Let me reach out. Now it's incumbent upon us men who, if you receive that call, keep on moving forward. What you've done so far to improve yourself has sustained you. There's no time, there's no reason to give that up. There's no reason to turn around and say, hey, you didn't want me back then. I wasn't a good option back then. But I'm so much of a better man now. If you didn't want to be part of that journey, that's fine. You don't have to be. There's no one saying that it's incumbent upon you to do these things. But now that my peak, I'm ascending my peak, near the peak or at the peak, I'm going to decide what it is I want. All I hope the guys is take a look at women's game and say, where can I adapt this? Where can I sit there and fit this in the way I kind of date, the way I kind of move? or more importantly, the way I kind of take care of myself. Take some time from the grind, put yourself first, put your happiness as a priority. That's it. And then, but of course, get back to work, protect the brand. Right? If you disagree, let me know down in the comments. If you see other videos on your screen, check those out. Let me know your thoughts about those in those videos. Of course, if you listen to some of my voice now, you have not subscribed, I think you should. I'm trying to build something dope. I'll see you in the next one.